And let's talk about the case of a British Transport Police Constable, Adrian Young. He's just been found guilty at Westminster Magistrates Court of assaulting a 15-year-old girl at Camden Road station, tube station, in September last year. His crime? He stepped in when a station staff member challenged the girl after she pushed through the barrier and refused to show a valid ticket. She was bunking the fares. She was dodging the fares. PC Young's 48 years old. He's an officer of 19 years experience. He sort of stopped her, challenged her. She tried to go away. He grabbed her, got her in a headlock and took her back through the barrier. He held her in that headlock for about 30 seconds, apparently, no more than that. Shoved her back through the barrier, and today, or now, he has been convicted of assaulting that girl. Now, this goes hand in hand, of course, follows Robert Jenrick's famous film report of the epidemic of fare dodging on London's underground train system. The London Mayor Sadiq Khan stands accused of turning a blind eye to these minor crimes that add up to major money. We're the ones who are paying for this with our fares. We have to fund all the... I see it every single bloody day. I mean, hundreds of them. And you're going through, with your valid ticket, because I'm a law-abiding citizen, folks, and, some guy bursts through with you. Sometimes 5 will burst through. They just bash through. Staff don't do anything about it. This copper tried to do something about it, and he's just been done for assault. What is going on? Let's talk to former Met Police Detective Mike Neville. This is a disgrace, Mike, isn't it?
I agree, it's a disgrace, Kevin. Yes, it is. And we've not seen the full video of what's happened, so we can't really judge it from that. But I come on here and we criticise the police for not doing their job. Here we have an officer who's seemingly trying to do his job. And if you remember, there's a case of a PC, Perry Lathwood. He was the one who was on a bus, and the transport inspectors said, "Show me a ticket," to a woman, and then she refused. There was a big fight. He ended up arresting her, and then he ended up being convicted of assault. And all the woman had to do was show the ticket that she had. Of course, fortunately for PC Lathwood, the Court of Appeal, after he'd been found guilty at the Magistrates Court, he was found not guilty on appeal. And so I hope that the officer here has, can get to appeal. But as you say, you know how much I travel around the country. So with my big bag, I go through those double sort of doors on the tube, and invariably 2 or 3 people they swarm through. And get away with it. And the staff, as you say, just look at them. But the police are damned if they do and damned if they don't.
Yeah, I mean, the other day, I mean, I can be a combative sort of a person sometimes, you may have noticed. And I was going through the barriers, the double barriers at London Bridge Station, and there were these 3 kids, I mean, I say kids, probably 18 or something, just trying to barge through. So I sort of did this, and I wouldn't let them through. And they were absolutely furious with me. Get out of the effing way and all this kind of stuff. I said, what you going to do about it? And they didn't do anything at all. But it was probably stupid of me, because I probably could have got knifed. Yeah. But, you go on the tube a lot. I'm on the tube every single day. Every single day I see this happen personally 20, 30 times. If we went down to London Bridge Station now, I guarantee we would see it. If we stood there for 15 minutes, we'd see probably 100 people barge through the barriers. The staff are pretty much told, don't get involved in case they've got knives. I kind of understand that. But we've got an epidemic here, as proved by Robert Jenrick when he made that film. And PC Young is 48 years old. He's an officer of 19 years experience. So as you say, we haven't seen the video, but I refuse to believe that an officer of that long experience would in any way go over the top. He pushed this girl back through the barrier. She tried to get away. He held her in a headlock. I bet you it wasn't over the top, and yet District Judge Nina Tempia has now adjourned the case for reports, him having been found guilty of assault. Now, if a police officer can't step in and tackle a fare dodger without facing a court case and a conviction for assault, what has become of this country?
Well, the other thing to note, of course, Kevin, is that this Judge Nina Tempia belongs to the Doughty Street Chambers. This is the same human rights chambers as Keir Starmer belongs to. So you can just see it. We see it with the immigration judges, that they have a certain agenda, and now we have a human rights judge, no doubt very left-wing biased, making a judgment on this officer. The officer, I don't think, had any chance of getting found not guilty, but I can only hope that he does go to the Court of Appeal, and we can only hope it ends up with like PC Latford. But the police, we come on here, don't we? As I said, we criticise the police for not arresting thieves and vagabonds, and people are just sick and tired of it, aren't they? They're sick and tired of people just going into shops and stealing, going onto the tube and not paying, because then everybody else thinks, well, I'll do some of that as well. And the moment somebody steps in to deal with it, they're convicted. And this poor fella, he looks at, he's going to lose his job and his career, and it's just not good enough. I think we really need to look at this.
Yeah, and other coppers, you know, what are they going to think? You know, you can imagine another copper standing around at maybe Camden Road station or some other station, seeing a fare dodger and thinking, right, I'm not getting involved. You know, so when you have coppers who are being sent a message, don't stop fare dodgers, you know, that is a charter for mass law breaking. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely, and we see this with stop and search, don't we? We see it, the stop and search, that if officers don't stop and search, that no one ever criticises them. But if they do stop and search, they get accused of this crime of the century, of course, which to the establishment is an accusation of racism, and then they're liable to lose their job. So as you say, you're an officer, why would you grab hold of somebody? Why would you try? Because if they run away and flee, no one's going to say, oh, that was a bad thing. But if you grab hold of somebody, hold on to them, then you're the villain. And it's, what kind of society are we creating where this can happen?
Yeah, and no word on what happened to the girl who bunked the fare, who dodged the fare. No, she didn't get done. You know, there's the prosecutor told the court, oh, he swung her around and got hold of her in a headlock with his arm around her neck. She was a 15-year-old child. And we say that a degree of force was unnecessary, not reasonable in the circumstances, and not proportionate. You know, he swung her around, got her in a headlock. She just dodged the fare. She just bunked the fare. It's an officer of the law trying to enforce the law, and he's the one who ends up being nicked. This is ridiculous.
What kind of person would try and bunk the fare when there's police officers standing there? Because he's obviously in uniform. This shows the society that we have. It's quite incredible that somebody would even think about it. But they think they're immune, and all this does is say to them, you are immune. You can just bunk the fare, you can steal from shops, you can do what you want, and nothing will happen to you. Indeed, the person who tries to stop you doing it, they will be lose their job. And it's just absolutely terrible. It's just, society is breaking down with these things. These minor rules and regulations that we all just go along with are being smashed. And therefore society is going to fall apart if we just don't obey those little rules.
Totally right. Well, this kid, this 15-year-old girl, PC Young handcuffed her and arrested her, and she was later de-arrested at the scene. So she got completely away with it. And now, apart from having been done for assault, as you say, I hope he appeals and I hope he's successful. But he's also going to face a gross misconduct hearing, which will probably ruin his career. There is something profoundly wrong here, Mike. Good to talk to you as always. Thanks again, mate. That's Mike Neville, former Met Police detective.